Well, hello, and in this video, I want to kind of help you map your progress for your course project that you have, and I'm really hoping that you have all started to work with your team. I've noticed that there's some submissions, and I've been looking at some of the submissions, and you're all starting to to try to make some progress to hit all of these specific milestones that we have for this project that you have. Okay. Um, so what I want to do in this video is I want to kind of take you to where I feel that you should be right now. All right. And I think you'll notice that if you look at the dates, the the lesson 7, lesson 8, and lesson 9 is basically due at the same time. And that's the kind of stake in the ground that I want you to start to feel, because what you're what you're going to do is that in those four, or those, L6, L7, L8, and L9, is that basically what I want you to do is start to build, or at least come up with, a fairly good detail of your front end, that particularly that you're starting to make that web page that's your customer interface, to be able to to look and feel and have all the functionalities that you want for the project that you're selecting. In a lot of videos, I talk about model view controller, and really you're spending a lot of time looking at view. Later on down the road, we'll look at the model, and that'll be your database of choice. And to be able to go in and start to use the back end programming, and then through APIs and control mechanisms that tie both the front end and the back end together, you're going to you're going to put this all together. Now, keep in mind, because a lot of folks were asking me this, is that the idea that all I really ask you to do is send me a PDF. Okay. I'm not really looking for you to develop a product that basically is just going to be handed off to the customer. What I'm looking for is, first of all, proof of concept that you've set up your situation, you set up the whatever your requirements are, and whatever your those requirements are going to be met to be able to develop this storefront. And then from the proof of concept, you start, and I've talked in other videos about prototypes, that basically you start to build your prototype more and more. And you can build a prototype either through various prototyping tools like maybe Adobe UX, okay? But keep in mind, Dreamweaver is a WYSIWYG type of situation where you're typing this information, you're seeing what you get when you develop that web page. And really what I'm looking for is not to develop a product, but set up a proposal. I'm sure, and hopefully one time in your careers, or in your Penn State career, that you've heard this thing called a request for proposal. And a request for proposal is a customer gives you requirements and you respond to that. What I'm looking for more is a proposal, is the situation where you're showing to the customer pretty much what the concept is, and basically show things that particularly you want to show the customer, so you can kind of win the business and go back and build this website. Okay. But it's a prototype. It's basically a Hollywood set that really looks like everything except it's virtual. It's not 100% physically there. Okay, and you can do that. You can do that through prototyping tools, but you can do that through web design. You can basically come in and say, hey, this is what my front end looks like. These are all the things that I have, and this is what it looks like once I render those web pages. All right. So particularly what I'm looking for, kind of in the next phase, is you to build, or at least give me and wow me like you would wow a customer, okay, what your front end is going to look like. And that is screenshots, that's code, that's maybe some, prototype images that are built maybe using, Adobe XD or any other type of prototyping calls, but enough to explain to me what your web page is going to look like. Okay. And then, submit that information. All right. So again, kind of sublines, because I don't want to have this as a long video, but I just want to be able to do this, is that by the 24th, which I believe is kind of in 2 weeks, okay, I want to see a pretty good idea of what your front end looks like. And particularly, that's what you should gear your groups to. All right. I'm kind of hoping these videos help you. One of the things I've been doing is I've had a lot of groups reach out to me and set up meetings with me. And, I can kind of direct you to the right spot. Okay. I didn't make it mandatory. I usually do make it mandatory, but I didn't. All right. So particularly, if you really want to talk to me, I'm available. I'm giving you my hours, usually most evenings, then between the times of six, or most evenings, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. I'm usually available between 6 and 9. I don't want to go any time past 9 o'clock. So don't schedule anything for 9 o'clock. Latest is that, I want to be able to talk to you. So you get me at 8 or 8:30. And I'll sit down and I'll talk to you about this. All right. And how you can be able to do that. Right. So keep in mind, work with your groups. Okay. I know that basically the group dynamics are very, very good, in some cases, very, very bad. Okay. But you got to push forward. You got to keep pushing forward to be able to do this, because this is a class that's beyond IST 242. And it's a way of actually doing web development. It's not web programming, it's web development. And development basically has to go through all the procedures of being able to show what an end product is really going to look like, what an end website is going to look like. So take that as part of your groups, okay? And again, any questions, email me, or if your group would really like to talk to me, set up a meeting with me. All right? Okay. Good luck on your project.